Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Indeed, the Independent Wrestling Podcast. I'm Mike. That's Reg. That was our intro this week. We don't have a guest, but some crazy shit happened over the weekend. We're gonna talk about it. But in the meantime, what's up, Reg? How you doing?
I'm exhausted. I don't know. I never know what day it is. I never know what time it is. I'm just like, if I didn't have podcasts that were on a schedule, I'd be on whatever day there is. But I do have podcasts, so I know that it's Wednesday. It's 3 p.m. in Oakland, California. It's a warm one outside. And it's Righteous Reg, your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster, media man, the original, the one and only. And I'm very excited to be here. You see what's
Yeah.
going on here, Mike? People just grab my gimmick and just like use it. Like a
Yep.
world champion is just like, that's mine. Can you do that?
Uh, I guess technically he can because he did,
Oh,
but I think at the very least he should have like a title for gimmick match with you.
something like, can I get like some kind of, I can fight for it or like,
Something like I believe like at the very least if he's gonna steal your gimmick, he should at least give you some love, give you some
shout me out, some
yeah
royalties,
something some
a shirt or
jeez.
something?
Yeah, a shirt. There we go. Send him a shirt.
I'll take a
Uh,
shirt.
There we go. Yeah, but it's Indeed, and we're guestless for the first time in
Has it been a year?
it has to be close to a year. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure. I'm pretty sure the last time we didn't. I don't even know.
it's been a long time. I can't even remember.
Like we've had episodes where people didn't like stay for a full hour, but we haven't had one where there was nobody here in a hot minute. But yeah, there was. I don't know. I know I had a very busy weekend, a busy week. Um, Today's been an interesting day. I
Hmm.
came out today. That
You
was
did.
pretty dope. Uh, yeah, June's been like a weird month for me because like we did some stuff for Black History Month. We did some
Yep.
stuff for Women's History Month, and then like every year when June comes around, I've been like yeah, but also like not able to like put my full fist pump into it because like
Mhm.
there's a part of me that's always been like, but I'm still kind of hiding.
Yeah.
And yeah, so to celebrate Pride Month on Indeed, we're gonna kick it off by me just being proud of myself for the first time in my life, really. Actually, uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I so yeah, that's how we're gonna start this week's episode.
I'm proud of you too, bro. It takes, a lot to do that, especially on the internet with how crazy people are. But that's great. We have so many inspiring guests that we talk to and talk about their journey that I'm happy that you got to get to their place because we've legit talked to so many wrestlers that have told us stories of being fearful but are outside and as happy and as proud as they can be. And they're some of the best people that I've ever interacted with. So I'm happy that you've gotten to this place.
thank you. Yeah, it's been entirely positive today, so
Yeah.
that's been really cool.
Yeah.
I'm
We're at a horrible point in the world and society, but we're also at a really great point from where we used to be.
it makes me feel good at least about the decisions I've made about who I surround myself with in life. Because
That's also a thing.
if I was surrounding myself with shit people, I'd have probably had some people go, "Oh, what the fuck," you know.
1000%. Yeah, exactly.
Uh, None of that. And
Mm-mm.
then I tweeted
We
about
don't
this.
play that.
I tweeted about this earlier, but probably the biggest nobody can tell me nothing. Because I talked to my daughter about it today, who's she'll be 13 in a week, but the long and short of that was she was like, "I'm proud of you, Dad. I love you. That's so brave of you." And
So
I'm like,
cool.
"Fuck, that rules." Because one, like it feels good, for me.
Yep.
But then like two, I'm also like, as a dad, I'm like, "Oh, good. I'm a good parent. I have not raised a
Yep.
piece of shit."
We're
Like,
setting a good example, as they say.
yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay." Like
We can do these things. There's more than just what
she
society
has.
presents to us.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, look at that. She's got, like, love and acceptance in her heart." It's crazy. It's totally in, like, what you teach your children and they
She's just like at school, like my stoner dad. He's all types of things.
Ooh, it's funny that
It smells weird though. Every time I walk by his room, it smells so weird, you guys.
yeah, just it's like he's got a pet skunk in there or something. It's fucking crazy. It's so weird.
It smells so weird. What is that?
The worst cologne.
No, but that's great though, man. What a day.
Yeah.
What a month. I was thinking like talking what we're gonna talk about today. We could have had Effie join, but that would have just been a little too cliche, I think, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I'm absolutely certain. I would like to, definitely speak to some other members of the LGBTQ community this month
Mm-hmm.
on the show. But in the meantime, yeah, like I'm just being happy to be me today. But
So cool.
and there was some crazy shit that happened this weekend. Anyway,
Mm.
I don't know, like, what did you get up to anything like grass touching wise, in the real world wrestling wise this weekend?
No, I went in May. I did 3 weekends of wrestling. I went to Ontario for the New Japan show. Then the next weekend I had the West Coast Pro show, and then the next weekend I had the AEW stuff. So I was like, I got to take a break, you guys. I can't get into it this weekend though. Before we get into GCW talk, our friend of the show, J Rose, is going to be announcing at promotion friend of the show, Hood Slam. So I think on Friday I'll be stepping out there. My friends in Oakland, like, yo, what's up, my friend? So I'm excited about that.
Jaro's ring announcing Hood Slam this week.
Yeah,
That rules.
isn't that so cool? Isn't that so perfect? It's like this feels like it should be a regular thing. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, he's like, perfect voice and personality, and just like all the fun that he brings to ring announcing is like Hood
Perfect.
Slam is the best environment for
Yeah.
to showcase that. I think
So
that's
when they announced that, I
I'm
was like, oh yeah, of course. Like J Rose fits in like a glove.
I watch their replays a lot. I try to watch them live, but like a lot of the times now the sleep monster comes for me. Um, but
And their
I've been,
show start late
yeah,
in
but I've been
wrestling
like,
terms.
well, in the East Coast time especially,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. When I
Mhm.
was on my nocturnal schedule, it was great. I was like, hey, I'm awake. I can watch a live
Totally.
Hood Slam show.
Anytime, yeah.
Yeah.
Japanese wrestling, whatever.
Oh my god, it was so nice to be like nocturnal when there was from when there was some like New Japan shows, and
Right.
I ended up getting Wrestle Universe. I watched some like Noah and DDT and shit. So I was like, I'm
Exactly.
awake. I actually speaking of West Coast Pro, I watched I can't remember what the name of the show was, but I watched some of it live, and I saw like
Hmm.
Charlie and Titus wrestling on a Noah show, and I was like
Yeah.
watching the show live at like
Oh, sick. How was
3, 4.
that?
I was watching at like 3, 4 in the morning, and I was just like, they were tagging together on this big. No,
Hmm.
it was like a bigger event for them too. I can't
Yeah.
remember. I don't know all the names of their shows. It's like
Me neither. Yeah.
Carnival or something,
Hmm.
or I don't know. But it was it was awesome. They won, and I was like, hey, picking up a win on the Big Noah show. Okay.
Both of them look really comfortable out there in Japan. Huh? They look like this is where we belong. I'm like, all right, you guys, this is awesome.
Well, and I think you could circle that also back to the partnership with Marvelous, and a lot
Yeah.
of um
Preparation.
like they get to go train over at the Marvelous dojo in
Yeah.
Japan when they're there, but then also even in America, the amount of times that Chigusa Nagayo is over, and then she's bringing students and like her trainees and stuff over, and they're working on West Coast Pro shows, so like there's that
Mhm.
whole like integration of like international styles
Totally.
between West Coast Pro and Marvelous, where they're like both of their rosters and schools are kind of getting like that, shared experience,
Hmm.
and I'm sure it benefits, the talent over in Marvelous as well from getting like that more North American indie style of, wrestling with them. But yeah, for Charlie and Titus, when they actually, they're on the Noah show, and it's like, yeah, you seem like you just been in Noah.
Yeah, exactly. I think exactly what you're saying, that preparation of them. Not only that, they're bigger independent stars, so they're wrestling around the country and they're
Mhm.
interacting with the Japanese stars that come over here. Like when Mao came over and was tearing it up with all the American stars and guys like that, that like before they even got to Japan, they're already kind of comfortable with what to expect there, what style is. So when they get on a Big Noah show, it's just like, oh yeah, this is just a wrestling show, which is amazing because they're still so early in their career. Titus is they're both so on their way, but like Titus is so ready, man. He's like on offense and defense is amazing. Like every time I see him bump and sell, I'm like, dude, Titus is crazy. Like I made this comparison before, but it's like 2002 AJ Styles. If you guys know, that is Titus Alexander to the key. Looks like him, works like him, moves like him, bumps like him, but with his own style to it. And it's like that guy was everything to me in 2002. And for Titus to kind of represent that and excel even farther than that, since he's been in Japan back and forth. The last time the West Coast Pro Show against Marufuji, oh my God, amazing match. Like Titus was so comfortable. Like he's always comfortable because it's West Coast Pro, it's just home, but like even more comfortable against a Japanese legend, one of the best ever, that it felt like, oh, Titus could be in Noah, could be in All Japan, could be in New Japan thrown in right now, and it wouldn't be culture shock at all. He'd be one of the best guys in attendance. So that guy needs a contract. I don't really understand what's going on here. I know there's a lot of space, there's a lot of time, but like Titus is ready.
Yeah. Also, like, again, it's such a cool story for him too, because it's like he, by all rights, could have like, he was on his track. He was on track to, probably having some kind of football career as it was, and then like just get an injury forcing him out of football, and like he pivoted to wrestling, and the way that he's excelled in wrestling in such a short amount of time, it's like you're pretty much born. It's like you seem just destined for this. It's crazy.
Honestly, every time I hear that story, it's so crazy because Kevin Nash kind of has the same stories. Like he was a basketball star, then he hurt his knee, and then he got into wrestling. It's like you get an injury, and then you get into wrestling. Just sounds weird as a concept, but that's like the thing for hundreds of wrestlers at this point. Of like, oh, I thought I was going to be a football or basketball or baseball star, but I broke my leg or hurt my leg, and now I'm one of the best wrestlers in the world. And it's like, all right, I guess that's the transition over here. So lucky us to get to experience stuff like that. But I mean, when you say he's destined, it's so funny. At last West Coast Pro Show, his family's always in attendance. Big Ugly, his dad, his brother there, who's like a carbon copy of Titus. So when you see him, like, wait, Titus, but he's like shorter and looks. You could tell he's his brother, and so it's like he always has that family thing of like you knew he was going to be. The football thing was probably he was good at that because he can move. He's really athletic, but like wrestling, it was his calling. Like there was no way he was going to go his whole life not being Titus Alexander, the pro wrestler. You could just see it when you talk to him, still super humble and like excited to be in any position that he's in. Contract, AEW specifically, give it to him.
And also, like for him getting around the the country and stuff, I was fortunate enough. I got to see his Canadian debut back in November against Junior Benito. Yep. He's coming back to the East Coast. They don't have his match announced, but like ETU has a show at the end of July, Summer Madness 2, and he's like front and center on the poster for that. So I'm imagining he'll have a big match of some kind there. That whole show looks so silly. Have you seen who's on this ETU show?
I haven't seen the whole thing yet.
I
heard about Titus and I was like, oh, that's fire.
They got Titus, obviously Marcus Mathers, the champion, Janai Kai, Hyan, Mike Santana, Matt Mikowski, Josh Bishop, Yoya, Braden Toon, Brandon Kirk, Jay Bougie, Pretty Boy Smooth.
Yeah, all of them are heavy hitters.
Insane.
I'm happy to see Matt Mikowski back. We need to maybe try to get him on this pod.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
I don't like a lot of those like
Miss Mao and Chris Brooks in the US. Yeah, did they change? I'm sorry, did they change the way that the chats are displayed now? That looks different. Is that?
Oh yeah, with the little picture looks bigger. Like
is that me? Like, is that me? Is that a me setting? I think it is.
Oh,
it is. It's
oh, look at that. Setting. Look at you.
Look at that. Okay, there we go. That's normal.
Is that me? Is that a me setting?
I miss Mao and Chris Brooks in the US. You know what? I'm missing Mao and Chris Brooks in the US as well, but like I know GCW is going over to Korakuen, and they're going to do some stuff with DDT this time when they're over there instead of Freedoms. Moving on up to DDT in the wrestling world now. So I'd imagine you see at least some Chris Brooks and Mal on those shows.
I would hope so.
Yeah. So I know you were talking about getting out to West Coast Pro and
Yep.
doing a lot of traveling for AEW. Went to
Tired.
Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
How was Vegas? Did you lose any money in the casino?
No, I'm at the old age of like $20 and that's it, you guys. I'm done here. So I played my little $20 and I was done here because like I can't afford this. I got rent to do. Rent's due.
That's smart. Oh well, why pay rent when you can buy a replica title belt though?
I mean, that is tempting. Walking past a replica belt, you're like, I could pay rent or spend half of this on a belt.
I loved your tweet about seeing the guy who is definitely not future you at a show.
I'm still not totally convinced, Mike. Like looking over and seeing a black old man with belts and the back of his jersey says Big Reg on him. Like, wait a second, I'm Big Reg. I think if that's not me, we have to fight for that jersey. Like, I don't want the belts. I want the jersey.
Did he have dreads or did he cut them? Did you cut them off later in life?
He was done with the dreads. He had just a hat on. So I'm like, I'm definitely going to be at that stage at that point.
Yeah.
So it checks out. That part checks out. But it was a Raiders jersey also, and that part does not check out.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, at least they were in Oakland at one point.
Yeah, no. They sold us out. There's no coming back.
No. Are they
I don't really watch football either, but still, double fuck them,
Yeah. The way football teams move around is something so strange to me. But anyway, we're a wrestling podcast. I did some wrestle things last week.
You did. I want to hear about this.
I did. I went to Crossbody Pro Wrestling on Friday.
Shout out to Crossbody, our friends of the show.
Their final they had their final taping for Uproar. So tonight, actually, 7 p.m. Crossbody Pro Wrestling Academy on YouTube.
Right after this.
Yep. When Indeed's over, go watch Crossbody Pro Wrestling Uproar episode. So both episodes taped on Friday, and then episode 1 will be tonight, and the final episode period will be next Wednesday.
Okay.
Great show on both. All right, so it's always weird for me talking about going there and then being like, well, so it's good. Both tapings are great, but like the full show was awesome. I did live commentary on their live stream. It was like a surprise live stream. So I did live commentary for the first time. It was daunting.
Okay.
How
much did you know going in? Like, did you know which wrestlers you were gonna? Because when I did it at UGWA, he was like, I know like Alpha Zoe, so I'll put you in Alpha Zoe's match. Was it kind of like, we know this person? Let's put you in this match.
I did the full card.
Solo. Oh, you did the whole thing.
I did the full card alone.
You said solo?
Alone, yes.
Wait, hold on. Run it. Stop. The first time you ever did live commentary.
Yes.
Was this show.
Yes.
And you did the whole thing.
Yes.
Joey Styles style. One person.
Not nearly as good. But yes.
Well, I mean. What, brother, what?
Yes. Look, you know what? I have no complaints. I'm a big fan of Trial by Fire.
Me too. So it's wrestling, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like I know pretty much everyone on that card pretty well anyway.
Yeah, totally.
I watch enough of them.
Talk about Crossbody all the time. Like, it makes sense.
I go there almost every show. Like I'm there for at least, I'd say 40 to 50% of the shows consistently. Now that my back's better, it'll probably be a lot more anyway.
Totally.
But I go there as often as humanly possible. I watch it always. Whether live or on replay. So I know
we promoted almost like every show when they have a after us. We're like, watch Crossbody. Like, it's connected to Indeed at this point.
Exactly. It's it's like it's a part of the family here. And it which is part of the reason I actually like going there so much is their community, like just talent, crew, and like regular fans is like one of the nicest, like just tightest, most welcoming communities that I've come across.
It's just like me at West Coast Pro. Same thing. Same exact.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's how I feel. That's how I feel at Crossbody. That's how I feel at C4. That's how I feel at Pro Wrestling Ontario, where I went on Saturday night as well. but like, I feel that a lot around the promotions here. But when I'm there, I just have such a good time, and I know everyone. I watch enough of their wrestling, so it's pretty easy for me to like.
You're filled in. You didn't have to be like, "What's happening? Fill me in on everything." You're like, "No, I got this."
Oh, I still spent like 4 hours the day before going through the entire every single person on the card. I went through on Cage Match, just tried to like pick out any notable shit that I could make
Great
note
job,
of.
man.
I
Look at you
tried to
preparing. I would have went in there like, "Let's do it, brother." I don't know no wrestlers. We're doing this raw
I
Monday
I
night.
I knew I was doing a full show, so like I didn't want to like just shit the bed super hard. And so I wanted to have something to help me. So I was like, let's make some notes here. So I did. It was good, because I ended up like being able to, call some people's moves like what they call their moves, which was nice. Uh, but yeah, like in terms of how I like my performance, it was terrible to like it was like terrible probably right up until intermission, and then I maybe crawled my way to like acceptably shitty
Nice.
by the end of the show,
Oh, great.
which again, like
I've heard people be acceptably shitty and they've done 100 shows. So I mean,
like I don't I had no expectations of sitting down and being like, oh, this will be easy and I'm gonna be fucking great at it, because I've heard enough bad commentary to know that like
it's not easy.
it's not just something that people will sit down and be good at.
Mm-hmm.
So I had no expectation of being like remotely good, but at least now, if should somebody actually be willing to let me do that again.
Mm-hmm. Next time you got to text me, dude, because I got to be in remote to help you. Like,
oh man,
remote in and be like, "Yo, it's Righteous Reg. I'm here too. Here he goes with the big slam." That's my commentator voice.
I don't know how that would have worked on our feed, like on the feed we were working with, but someone should really just get like, if you see Reg and I at your show together, just
grab us and sit
just give us a match and see what happens. I don't know.
If you came for an UGWA show, we could definitely do it there. You'd have to come to San Jose though. I don't really.
No. Not big on we're not big on San Jose.
Oh no, they do shows in San Francisco too. That works. You could come to San Francisco. That's cool.
Mike, your last name on Twitter is too on the nose. Change it. Also, with Jones booking, I will fight the entire board in 100. What do you mean it's too on the nose?
Mike, your real last name, that's just too much. No, it's too
much. That's not my real last name still, though.
It is.
Yeah.
Kayfabe, brother.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I'm like, kayfabe, brother. Wow. Come on. You ruined it that fast.
No, you know what's really funny? I'm already going to retcon it because of the amount of people who are like, you're Mike from Indeed. Fuck off. Like,
that's who you are, though. Like, I don't know what
I'm like, okay.
We all know the deal.
Oh, because of LeBlanc. What is... Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Points are being made.
Yeah, points are being made.
And Van Twinblade would be the one to make the points, too.
Would be.
You're gonna change it right now? I thought he was going in right now. Live, change him up. I think you're liking with that.
I did.
Oh, he went from live, change him up.
I did. This is back to Mike Indeed. No,
so you weren't Mike Indeed when you did commentary? You were.
I was Mike LeBlanc when I did commentary. I said my name one time at the beginning of the broadcast, never mentioned it again. And I think if I did say my name again on the broadcast, I probably said Mike from Indeed.
I'm like you. That's why you didn't get the good juju, because you got to be like, this is Mike from Indeed, brother. What's up? Then people are prepared. They know who it is because they're like, who the fuck is Mike LeBlanc?
Yeah, true. You know what? Yeah. At this point, I think, it's safe to say I should probably accept that I'm permanently attached to this show specifically.
That'd be like I came on here and I'm like, actually, it's Reginald Gaines. They'd be like, bro, who?
What?
You know, like, who's that?
Yeah, who is that? That's
that? I just made that name up.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
Me. Not me at all. Cut that, Mike, the producer.
I can't. We're live, dude. You fucked up.
I thought you had magic, dude. Like, you're calling full shows by yourself. I'm like, you could do it all.
No, I could barely do that. But
that's insane preparation. Like, dude, you're calling it by yourself. No friends. Yeah, get out there.
Like, again, part of me is like, that's terrifying. But
that's scary.
part of me was like,
But also, it's
this
fun.
is this is the best way of finding out whether or not I like doing this or not.
Totally. Hop in there.
Because I still would do it again, even though like anyone who watched that would probably advise me not to.
I need somebody who watched it to be like, yo, what was going on? Who was
So,
that guy?
so the problem for me is that like the only 3 people who have said anything to me about it were people who are I consider them friends,
Yeah.
and they worked on the show.
Okay.
So I'm like, are you just being nice?
Yeah, they could be blowing smoke up your butt.
Like they could be.
You know.
I was like,
But
look,
also not wrestling. No, we'll be like, that shit was trash,
yeah.
bro.
See,
I can't believe that.
that's the thing too, right? Because like, I was like, look, if it was shit, tell me it was shit. And they're like, no, you weren't bad. And I was like, I don't know, me,
Weren't
yeah,
bad, yeah.
okay. You know what? Hey,
Yeah.
I'll look. That's better. That's more. That's like a compliment
Because I feel
enough.
like
Where I'm
most
still
people would be like, that was shit. Like if it was shit, they'd be like, yo, nice try. See you never.
yeah. So like, like one person was like, you know all the names of moves, which is cool.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people do that.
That's true.
So I was like, all right, cool. Well, that's good, I guess.
I mean, it's good to know all that wrestling you watch, some of it is absorbed in your brain, like it's not just in one ear and out the other.
Right.
That's good. That's good to know, just for like human side of us, like, oh no, some information still stays in there. That's cool.
That's the problem with me is like I'm painfully aware of like how many names of wrestling moves I know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what did I forget to learn all of this? Or like, what did I?
When I start to think about that, I'm like, damn, what did I not keep in? Because I remember where SummerSlam '98 was and shit.
Yeah,
like,
what did I train in, or what did I trade in my brain to be like
something good?
I
know I sacrificed something good for this shit, but it's worth it.
Absolutely. No, see, here's. I wish I remember that shit too. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, that's mine, Van Twin Blade. Math, I'm horrible. Like it was like math or wrestling, and I'm like, yo, Hogan, what's up, brother?
Yo, math and wrestling are like the 2 things that I probably, like you're like, why do you know that?
That's why they had you there on commentary. It's like, this fool knows math. He'll figure it out. He'll do some equations in the air. It'll be fine. It was fine.
It was fine. Honestly,
like if it was terrible, they would have stopped you during the show. Our intermission, like, yeah, we're gonna go in a different route, dude.
Yeah, they would have been like, in fact, you know what? Just crowd sound.
Yeah, you're chill. Just sit right there. Actually, like, we don't need you to sit where you were sitting previously.
Yeah, exactly. Saturday though, I went to Pro Wrestling Ontario, and that was awesome.
Okay, amazing. What was on this show?
All right, hang on. I gotta pull this one up. Oh, Auntie Collins.
Yes.
I remember too many wrestling things compared to other life skills, right?
Life skills,
right?
I can't. Are those a thing? I thought it's just all wrestling in my brain.
Look, I can't tell you. I can't tell you like how to do taxes, but I could totally tell you about Effie and Mance Warner's feud. Yep. I could. I could list you like my favorite 10 homicide matches.
Yes, sick, dude.
But yeah, no. But like, no, I don't ask me for financial advice.
No, do not. 0%. But like wrestling, you want to talk independent wrestling? We're there.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm there.
I'm gonna pull up this Pro Wrestling Ontario card because I'm an idiot. I should know it. I was there. I filmed like every match, start to finish, from a nice balcony seat. So that was cool.
Been busy, dude.
Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, no, that was that's my the Germania Club in Hamilton, Ontario, best wrestling venue I have been to in Ontario. Period. I wish every wrestling show was there.
The Germania Club?
Yeah, it's like the German club. They've got a stage, they serve, sausages and good food. But the main event on this show was Johnny DeLuca defending the Pro Wrestling Ontario Openweight Championship against Tarek Alessandro Del Bruno and Josh Alexander. Uh, Josh Alexander, famously took all of May, all the way up to June off of independent bookings.
Yeah, what was going on there? I was very confused because I thought the Shelton Benjamin match was happening. I was like, oh, what happened to Josh Alexander?
Yeah, he took time off from independent bookings, and then so this show happened to be on June 1st, though. So like he was there for it. Fucking great match. Side story, which I did tweet about, but I made the mistake. So after his match, he went and did merch immediately. And later on, after like he was gone, a bunch of people had left. I was, just hanging around, talking to some friends, smoking some legal Canadian marijuana, and went and took a seat down to talk to Young Jay Lee, who happened to have been across the table aisle at merch from Josh Alexander. Sat in Josh Alexander's chair, didn't think anything of it. Wow. Got up 5 minutes later, and this chair had was like, it had a cushion with like a fabric covering on it. And since he went immediately to merch after his match and sat in that chair in his gear, that whole cushion just became like a Josh Alexander sweat sponge. And I gave myself secondhand Josh Alexander swamp ass.
Oh, from God!
So like, I was like, I gotta go home now.
That was the main event, though. So it worked.
That was the main event. So it was like the end of the night, but it was like, I have to go home now. I need to change my clothes and take a shower.
He hadn't sweated like that in a month and a half, dude.
At least
this built up sweat.
Hey, at least his gear was probably the cleanest it's been in a minute. So.
That's true. The points are made. See, there's something on the other side. Like, he hadn't been wrestling, so this probably was new clean gear, but still pretty gross, man.
I swam past myself with Josh Alexander's merch chair.
What's your most insane wrestling story? Oh, me and Josh Alexander exchanged swamp ass.
Like, that's got to be it, right?
100%.
Right? Like, nothing is going to suddenly match, top, surpass. It's going to take a lot.
Like weird as that, you know what I mean? Like, there's some fun, cool stuff, but that was just like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's gonna take a lot to fucking surpass this one. It's as far as weird shit that
I honestly didn't know that was a thing.
It is. Be careful where you sit at a If you I
usually get out of there when the show's over for reasons like this, like sweaty wrestlers. Like, sometimes my friends want to hug me, and I'm like, dude, you just had a match.
Oh, I don't care. Like, I'll hug a friend after they have a match. I do it all the time, but I don't like that. Doesn't like it doesn't.
It don't stay with you though.
It doesn't really stay on you. It might be like a droplet or two. This was like I sat in that chair for like 10 minutes. I sat in that chair for like 10 minutes, not realizing what was happening. And then once I stood up and I was like, my pants didn't come off of my ass.
Oh,
I was like, oh no,
no.
And I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, that's a great wrestler to be trained. Like, maybe you'll get some of those juices. That's disgusting. I don't know.
Yeah,
like some superpower. Now all of a sudden you're this badass wrestler. And you're like, how did I become this great wrestler? Like, I sat in Josh Alexander's.
At the very least, I should be able to throw on a pretty solid ankle lock now, right? Like,
you just discover this new thing. Like, oh, you just have to sit in a great wrestler swamp ass and you become them. Like, Bryan Danielson, please come and sit in this chair. And
I believe the term is osmosis.
This is why we have to have guests, because we get to osmosis. There you go.
I don't know. Maybe this is a sign that sometimes we should just not have guests.
We should. I'm having the best time. Oh my God, osmosis. That's insane.
This is definitely a Twitter clip, right? Yeah,
that's insane, dude. Holy shit. But what was on the rest of this card? That's osmosis is stuck in my brain.
So that was good. I saw my homie Travis Moore wrestle Young Jay Lee. That was fun.
Oh, sick. Young Jay is just killing it out there and on the Canadian scene, huh?
Oh, excellent. Yeah. He wrestled Jordan Oliver at Crossbody the day before.
Oh, that's right.
The week before that, so the week before that, I went to C4 like a week before Friday. Went to C4. I saw actually Myung Jae and Jordan Oliver wrestled each other in a 4-way match there with Jody Threat and Stu Grayson.
Oh,
so that
that's
was like
fire.
that was a great match, and
That's a wild lineup too.
it was a great 4-way and
Mhm.
like really fun match. And Myung Jae pinned Jordan Oliver in that 4-way.
Mhm.
So then they wrestled each other the week after at Crossbody, and it was cool because I was on commentary, so I got to actually reference that, which
Look at that.
was something nice to bring up. But yeah, no, it was really it was a really, really
Jordan won a championship, right?
He did, yes.
Yeah.
He did. Not from Young Jay Lee,
Mm.
but from it'll kind of play out as you watch Uproar. So,
Mhm.
but if you've seen on Twitter, Jordan did find his way into winning the Crossbody Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. So,
Sorry for that spoiler alert, you guys. I
oh
was
no,
just trying to celebrate the homie.
oh no, it's been all over Twitter anyway. So,
Okay.
like, go ahead and watch. All the more reason to watch Uproar if you want
All
to
the reason to
see
watch
how it
it.
happened.
Mhm.
Also him and Young Jay Lee. Also, on the episode that's airing tonight, Isaiah Prince, who is a very talented Buffalo wrestler that is
Mhm.
on the come up, he's a monster. Like
Isaiah Prince.
Isaiah Prince.
Mhm.
He is a big, meaty man.
Mm.
And he wrestled one of Shane Hawk's students from the IWS dojo, Dante Dubois, who is also a
Big meaty man.
big meaty man, and they both have some frying pan hands, and they scrambled each other's chest eggs.
Gross.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Those house fights, they're
Like,
really starting to become
I've
a phenom, and we need more.
So like I didn't know what to expect from the two of them because like I didn't know what way they were gonna go. Like they both got pretty they're both talented dudes who can go a lot of directions in a match. They work with all sorts of sizes of opponents, and they just decided, no, we're gonna fucking kill each other. Like, for the amount of time that we've been given for the match, from start to finish, we're just gonna kill each other. And they did. They just killed each other.
It's needed sometimes in these wrestling cards.
It was like uncomfortable in like a good way, where like you hear those first couple of chops and you're like,
this is what we're doing.
And then they just keep going, and then like there's one there at one point, like one of them's on the apron, like draped over, like with their back to the ring, and the other guy's just raining clubbing blows down on it, and then they just flip it around the other way, and the dude on the like whoever was on the apron was just it's one of the most enjoyable like just big dude battles. I've thought about it once a day since I saw the match, just like I can't wait to see the replay, and it's on tonight's episode, so I'm really stoked.
Sick.
But all of it was so good. Like Kristara is the crossbody women's champion, so
are they going to put different commentary on this thing? It's not going to be you on the.
It's not going to be me. Speedball and Veda have, they are the commentators for Uproar. I was basically just there so the live viewers had something to hear besides the show, and they probably should have just heard the show.
Like, is there an option to switch this guy off?
Yeah, can you shut this man up?
That should be an option. Not in this case. Like, shout out to my friend Mike for doing that. But you should have an option in all wrestling to turn these motherfuckers off.
Oh, if there was like a commentary volume in addition to the show volume, like if I could like adjust the balance of what I want to hear. The first wrestling company to make that happen, you're gonna get my subscription service money immediately.
Yeah, I remember when the Samoa Joe versus Kenta Kobashi ROH match happened. They were like, we're putting the option in the DVD where you can have it without commentary because you have to hear the crowd. And the one without commentary is so much better. So like, why doesn't everybody do that?
It's the best.
Not for all shows. Some people need it, but then sometimes some moments are like, I just want to hear this crowd.
Like if I could watch like Danielson versus Ospreay with no commentary, I think that would be phenomenal.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. In certain situations, not every single match, every single promotion, but like when the crowd's molten for like a match like that, just hearing them, hearing the strikes, hearing everything like that makes it a lot doper. I think they should try it.
Especially in like a really like a smaller room or but also like a big arena too. Like depending, like some of those Wrestle Kingdoms, like Sans commentary would have been
man.
or
It's an idea. Somebody executed.
at the very
AI.
at the very least, I'm glad New Japan gives me the option to like hear the Japanese commentary, not Kevin Kelly. So
Totally.
that's
I was
cool.
just talking to somebody how I sometimes listen to the Japanese commentary, and I was like, it's a lot better in some promotions. Even not understanding what they're saying, it's still like you can feel the emotions, you can feel the cadence, you can feel everything about it. It's great.
That's what it is that kind of reels me in with it. Is like I couldn't tell you what they're saying, but I feel the emotion in the commentary more than I do like with the English commentators a lot.
Totally.
So, so that's what I did. We know what you did. We also watched so there was some fucking crazy wrestling on the weekend. There was GCW had Tournament of Survival on Saturday, Cage of Survival on Sunday, JCW After Hours. I was at shows. You were watching some of this, I know.
Yep, I watched the Cage of Survival in full, and I was very impressed.
Yeah. Yeah, Effie finally conquered Manswarner.
Yes.
Although Manswarner still found a way to.
It's a bittersweet moment because this is who I wanted to become the next GCW World Champion, but like Effie got the big win, but then like his arch nemesis also got a big win. So I don't know, but yeah, I thought the match was incredible. Like they've been building. I love everything about how they built this independent wrestling feud. They had stare downs, face offs, contract signings, all kind of backstage stuff attached to this. And then when they got to the match, it was violence, just like everything you would think would be involved in a Cage of Survival match. The cage is down, there's barbed wire, fire, there's fucking tables,
glass, tons of glass,
doors, it's all kind of stuff going on. It's it was excessive, but in a good way, I think, because this feud, they're like, this is the last time, this is the last thing we're gonna do. We've been building this for a long time. We both said we're gonna kill each other. I have to try to kill this person, and they both tried to kill each other plenty of times in this match. Very scary moments.
Yeah, and it's honestly like I had to do some looking back on this feud retrospectively.
Yeah.
This all started back in December. When like in LA, like Vance and Effie lost to South Pacific Savages, and this has been something that's literally played out for 6 months now.
Yeah, it's an intense 6 months too. Like they've been like going like after each other, bloodthirsty.
Multiple matches with each other. Mance has also fucked up every single one of Effie's like close friends along the way. It's been a lot.
Try to set Sheik and Catch on fire, like all kind of crazy shit.
Yep, great. And then their match is escalating too between like first they just had they wrestled each other in a singles match. Then Mance wrestled Ali in a bull rope match. He had a street fight with Manders, strap match with Effie, a last man standing match with Effie. Then like finally it's like you get all the way to Cage of Survival, and everything like builds up in a very uncomfortably violent progression.
Right.
Where like these matches, they were all bloody and violent, but like the level of like sadism and violence within it like amplified as the matches progressed.
Right, because it's like, how do you top this? How do you continuously top what we just did in this last, what we did in the bull rope match, what we did in the last man standing match? We have to be insane. And kudos to GCW Ring Crew for their structures that they built. I was at the show, the clusterfuck, when they built the Punjabi prison, and I saw them take it down in like 10 minutes or something really fast. Like they do an amazing work. And for that, sometimes I'm like, is this gonna fall over? Like there's people right behind this cage, Mike.
Yep. No, their construction, like their construction for everything is awesome. Like that's a lot of
shout out to Big Vin.
Yeah, Big Vin. With all the building and shit, it's continually impressive how like they amplify the stakes in a lot of their shows
Yeah.
actually, with the just the contraptions and props and shit that they build.
There are a lot of
Fucking
stakes. It's like the wrestlers have matches, they're putting their lives on the line, but the ring crew has to be in so many places so quickly. They're like, all right, clean out the ring in 30 seconds, and there's glass and blood and hair and all kinds of crazy shit in
I especially liked probably something in the cage of survival match was like the ring crew being by the door, and then
there.
like whatever they needed, they just like F would walk over the door, over to the like door to the cage and be like, I need 2 plates of glass and a
Right.
door. Yeah, and it's like just sliding it into it's like the most violent hardware store.
Totally. It is like ordering weapons in an RPG game. Like, yeah, I'll take a bat and I'll take some glass and then set up a structure for me to set on fire to kill this person. Again, shout out to them for being so on hands with that and getting us to get to those spots that Effie and Mance are in. But yeah, beyond the craziness, it was just like I know Mance wanted to have this match, the style of wrestling that he likes, just like an old school Southern two people beating the shit out of each other. A lot of punches that seem like, whoa, are you guys friends or not? And like making it seem as real as possible. We're both going to be bloody as hell. But then, you guys, this is GCW, so we have to have the craziest shit you'd ever seen. You have to get, like you said, you have to get uncomfortable with stuff that goes on where it's like, maybe you shouldn't have did that, but you did it anyways.
Honestly, so we saw it in the intro video, but like Effie tackling Mance through the cage into the barbed wire spider web was fucking crazy.
And they're
But then
both they go
like
down like this.
but then like immediately after that though was so the part that like extra I was like, whoa, that's fucked up, was they get out of the spider web, but then Effie pile drives him in the spider web. I was
After everybody got him out. Like there's
like
the people trying to get him out. There's horror in one
like
person's face because Effie's stuck, and then he gets out, and then he pile drives him, and then he tries to walk into the ring, and he like slips, and he like falls into the barbed wire again, and people are just like, please just get out safely.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Also, like Tournament of Survival the day before. I don't know if you caught any of that. If you didn't, definitely watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Kirk should just be in all the death matches.
Yeah,
Always, he's insane. Like
yeah.
not everything feels like I don't know. Watching him, like I just have fun watching him like do a death match. I get like
Mm-hmm.
so fucking into it.
Yeah.
When Katsumata, like that was another one in the intro video, when Katsumata hit him with that dive off the top rope, and he had like the tubes on his stomach, and he was laying on all these buckets and shit. Uh, he kicked out of that at one, and like Tony D posted a video of like just his raw camera footage
Mm-hmm.
without like music or anything, just like of a bunch of the shit from that, and like the last like minute or two of that match, from the time that he kicks out at one and then he gets hit with something else, kicks out again, and then uh, sets up the Psycho Driver and hits
Mm-hmm.
Katsumata with that big like Psycho Driver that was in the intro as well, and
Mm-hmm.
like wins the match with that. Like that whole like the energy of that room in the last like couple minute stretch is like that's the shit I love at wrestling shows, and I feel like independent wrestling delivers it in a way that like big produced wrestling shows just can't.
You can't. It's organic. It's not forced. It's like you can't predict what's gonna happen. Like you can do, we're gonna do this crazy spot, and they can react a couple of different ways. They can react in excitement and fear and horror, and there's going to be all these different, but you can't predict exactly which one. And I think American TV wrestling tries to do that. Like, well, we have to get them to this one emotion because that's what's going to make money. And it's like that's not how wrestling works. But I mean, I guess that is how it works in your world. I don't know.
I feel like that's why a lot of the wrestlers I've been gravitating to lately are really reactive to like what people say, like heckle, like hecklers and
Totally.
uh, you know happenstance and some of the random the random shit that occurs as in the course of a match that wasn't on the list of things you were expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, it's those small rooms where you can hear exactly when a fan heckles. Sometimes it's excessive and sometimes it can get crazy. But like when a wrestler can channel exactly that heckle or whatever
Yeah,
into character work with their wrestling, I think it's awesome.
improvisation is like that's
Mhm,
something that I've started to like really appreciate
mhm.
so much more lately. It's kind of
Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, originator, none greater. Not the originator, but that's who like my indie god of like that shit was like. Oh, Kevin Owens was gonna hear somebody way back there that you didn't hear and react to him, and it's gonna be the funniest thing ever. The
yeah.
thing that I love kind of about this tournament and that kind of amazes me is that they're still innovating. Brought up Brandon Kirk, like there's young guys like him that are still innovating. Like, how do you hit somebody with the light tube? And we've done tournament like every show somebody's getting hit with a light tube. How do you innovate it? And they're still finding ways to hit people with light tubes and put people through light tubes.
I again, I think like it's that's where like being a wrestler comes into like the deathmatch wrestling, where it's like
Mm-hmm.
you have a lot of people who will complain about it and be like, oh, it's just violent, it's just like gore fiesta, but it's not to like to
It's
get
not.
to
It's
be
art.
able to, to be able to still make it make sense
Mm-hmm.
is that's like it's wrestling. It's
Yeah,
very much wrestling. It's just
wrestling
extremely
is a
violent wrestling.
it's insane. It's a horror movie. It's a wrestling horror movie. Honestly,
Damn right, Auntie Collins. Joey Janelle does do a great job at that.
he does.
Um,
He does. He's
and
really good at that.
actually, speaking of like deathmatch tournaments and wrestlers and stuff, John Wayne Murdoch, won Tournament of Survival.
He did.
Uh, I'm personally quite excited because he's also making his Canadian debut in July
Mm-hmm.
in my hometown.
Sick.
There's a no ring show. He'll be here. I know who he's coming. I know who's coming up with him, but I don't know if they're announced, so I don't think I can say it. But I'm really fucking like I'm stoked because again, I get to see another Canadian debut, which has been something I've been kind of like.
Been seeing a lot of them.
I've been seeing a few of them now, and it makes me happy.
Yeah, it's
Like
awesome. Right place, right time. It feels like a lot of things. The thing that I liked about this John Wayne Murdoch finish is might be my favorite kind of rollover crucifix style that I've ever seen because all the winners level he legit did that to survive. Like he barely survived. It was like on brand of him. Like I got one last attempt to not die. Is like I got to get this 3, and he got the 3, and he ran out of the ring. And I think it just added on to the theme of the whole show.
honestly, TOS it was one of my favorite ones. Like the last 2 years now,
Mm-hmm.
with Rina Yamashita winning last year, John Wayne Murdoch winning this year. It's really it feels like both years have been like steps forward in like
Changing to the guard type
like
deal.
and just like for deathmatch wrestling in terms
Mm-hmm.
of like how it's presented and the scale at which like those have been huge events both years. And
Yeah.
then Cage of Survival the day after too. It's like, how do you do this crazy deathmatch tournament on one day and then also still have like be able to have a super ultra violent cage match, and there was a bunch of other death matches on Sunday too. Like,
Yeah.
just why not? Well, you have all those folks up there.
These people love deathmatch. Let's give them 2 days of crazy ass deathmatch.
Yeah,
And they love deathmatch. Like you said, when they kick that kick out, and just in general of like the way that the crowd ups the ante, like, okay, you hit him with the chair. Now hit him with the stop sign. Oh, you hit him with the stop sign. Now hit him with the table. Oh, you hit him with the table. Now hit him with barbed wire. You know what I mean? It's like the wrestler wants to abide by all the fans, and it's like it always ends with set them on fire. And I'm like, you guys, we gotta like one day set some ground, set the precedence of like we can't kill people.
but here's the problem now is, like, and I know we're an indie wrestling show, but like a man got flamethrowered at a pay-per-view a couple weeks ago. So like,
Bad example. It's a bad example
you
they're
know,
setting,
it's
Mike. They're
it's
setting a
like
bad example of like, where's the line? Where should be the line? I think for like just thinking of like the children. Where's the line should be? Probably setting people on fire, just so like that's not in anyone's brain. Somebody watched their favorite wrestler in the world, Darby Allin, set their least favorite wrestler, Jack Perry, on fire. I'm, like it looked cool, but I'm like, did we really think about this? That's crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, look, I don't know. I don't know who these people who Jack Perry's their least favorite wrestler are. Personally, we're jacking it over here. Okay,
we're jacking it. Yeah,
we're jacking it. We're Jack Perry
Mhm.
supporters.
Mm-hmm.
D'Lo Diggs popping in to say what's up to the bros and playing.
What's
Couch
up, D'Lo?
Love you. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you
Appreciate
for the chat and yeah, enjoy the show. We Asmosis.
This is insane. I can't believe that.
Asmosis.
We're so dead. They're like, you guys can't do that again. Have guests every time.
Yeah, if there's one thing to take away from this week's episode, I made up a dumb word.
Yeah, you did, and you did a nasty thing. So kudos to you.
I didn't mean to.
Swamp ass exchanges. Like
I didn't
mean this was the thing. Like you set a new bar. Like that's crazy. Like
look,
I have to now that I'm gonna be thinking of that. Like I never in my life want that to happen. So I'm gonna be thinking that in all situations. I'm gonna look at every seat I ever sit in for the rest of my life because like somebody could have sat down here with swamp ass.
What kind of material is this chair? What's this upholstered with? Oh, leather. Okay, we're probably okay.
You ruined my life, Mike. Thanks for this.
Look, I'm bound to do it to everyone that comes in contact with me.
That's true. That's true. Just kidding. Yeah, but the GCW, what's insane during the GCW show? This is a regular occurrence, but they put up like their touring schedule and like the amount of dates that they have, and they're an independent wrestling promotion.
Like they're coming up here to Canada.
Exactly.
They're going to Japan again.
They're in Japan.
Oregon Hall, no less. Like
Mexico. They're in Canada. They're in LA all the time. They're always on the East Coast. They're premiering in new markets all the time. And like, this is an independent wrestling promotion. And people try to talk about their demise. Mike, there's no demise, dude. That schedule and those shows be fucking lit all over the country. Like we should be celebrating this. I know GCW has some things and people fucking have their things of what's connected, what Brett does, blah, blah, blah. But as a independent wrestling company, they're fucking doing it as fuck.
Yeah. It's like, again, there's so much to look at with them where you're just like, I don't know how you managed to do this, but it's fucking insane because
Bloodsport Japan, Van Twinblade said, like,
yeah, Bloodsport Japan, just like those kind of partnerships in general. TJPW, DDT, deathmatch promotions in Japan. This year, instead of like in the past, they've had Freedoms partnerships for deathmatch stuff. This year they had the Big Japan deathmatch champion over. Yep. Like it's pretty crazy. Also, like the fucking Shayna Baszler on Bloodsport this year,
dude.
Like,
and they keep announcing like they're gonna have the homie that was Reggie in WWE facing Myron Reed.
Oh yes,
like, they keep announcing cool things like you're gonna get a match like that in GCW. They're the true. There's been a gazillion. The true successor to ECW. They just are like a bunch of like. They say PWG was, but like PWG was in one place. We had 90% of the shows in one venue. ROH, the true successor is fucking this place because like eventually ECW was going to end up doing as much deathmatch wrestling as is presented in a show like this. Like that's where the future of ECW was landing anyways, and I think that they're doing what that represents, which is crazy.
Yeah, between the variety of styles on the card, the variety of talent on the card, the variety of places they bring the shows to, it's it's the parallels are very very much there. If you if you modern date 1996 to 2024,
that's it.
I don't know I don't know how else it would look different than GCW. It's pretty it's pretty spot on.
Exactly.
In terms of evolution. We've been going for about an hour though. It's 7 o'clock. Crossbody Pro Wrestling is on right now.
Gotta get to that.
You should go watch that. But before you watch that, here's where you can find us this week. Reg, go ahead.
I'll be in my regular venues tonight. I'm on with Denise, the AEW Dynamite post show. You know how those goes. That should be fun. And then last week was Ask Grapsy, so it's just regular Grapsity this week with my boy Philip Lindsay.
Hey,
We'll be talking some wrestling.
let's go.
Anything else? No, that's it.
Hey, all right.
Yeah.
Light week. Let's go.
Yeah, I know.
Me, I don't know. I have like nothing planned. I don't think there's shows this week. I was gonna try to get out to Brantford to Pretty Ricky's show. I don't think I can get a ride, so I probably won't be there. I don't know. If you see me around, say hi.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just gonna, play video games and watch wrestling.
Look at his seat before he sits down.
Yeah, well, except for my chair. My chair's safe. Every other chair.
I think your chair is safe. But your dog doesn't sometimes hop up there and.
No.
Oh, okay. I mean,
my dog's way too big for my computer chair. I got a fucking 80-pound German Shepherd.
Ooh, that is a big dog.
Yeah,
big dog.
Yeah, just my big cute baby girl. I love her. You know what? I'm gonna go pet my dog. Have a good week, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday. Might have a guest. We might not. We'll figure it out. Bye.